It's 4 p.m. on the East Coast, and it has been 3 hours since Hurricane Melissa made landfall on the tiny island nation of Jamaica at a Category 5. For reference, Hurricane Katrina, which devastated New Orleans in 2005 with their levees breaking, made landfall at Category 3 and not Cat 5 like Melissa. The damage in Jamaica is catastrophic. Roofs torn off, flash flooding, devastating landslides, storm surge, and the crisis is sure to get worse. We're going to have more on this devastating hurricane and where it is headed next, including whether the United States should be worried. Plus, this is not good. All the hopes, but now some new developments. The Israeli-Gaza peace deal appears fragile and close to falling apart. Israel has ordered powerful strikes on Gaza. This after Hamas terrorists fired on IDF troops and after the remains Hamas turned over last night that we reported during our show turned out to be the remains not of a missing hostage as we thought. Instead, the remains turned out that were turned over were the partial remains of a hostage recovered by Israel 2 years ago. So what comes next? Everyone is wondering. Also this hour, could the investigation of former President Joe Biden's use of the Autopen be going to the Justice Department for investigation? The latest turn involving Biden's alleged mental decline is coming up. And guess who else wants President Trump to win the Nobel Peace Prize? Japan's first female prime minister. She and Trump met this morning, and this was fun. Golf, Ford pickup trucks, and a little bit of dancing captured the cameras in Japan. And moving on to South Korea, where Trump is headed tomorrow, that's where on Thursday, Trump meets with Chinese President Xi Jinping. This is his first in-person with the Chinese president since his second term began. During his first term, Trump and the Chinese president held 5 in-person meetings. But first, this is the strongest storm to hit Jamaica on record. Officials are warning of carnage. At one point, Category 5 Hurricane Melissa brought 185-mile-per-hour winds. Jamaica's prime minister with this ominous message: there was no infrastructure in the region that could withstand a Category 5. The National Hurricane Center also said, quote, total structural failure is possible near the path of Melissa's center, end quote. Meteorologist Amy Metz joins me. Amy?
Thank you, Greta. Those are very grim statements that have come to fruition in many cases. It's now Black River Hospital, which was right along the line that you are seeing across Jamaica behind me now, that when wind speeds were around 165 miles per hour sustained in the center of the middle ground of where this made passage, this is where Black River Hospital had its roof collapse. At the same time, near that center, it was Cave Valley, also in St. Anne's Parish, along the riverbanks, where we've seen extreme landslides and flooding up to the rooftops. Unfortunately, some of these homes will be able to be swept away. What we're looking at now, further from that eye wall, brought to us by the United Cajun Navy, shows how and why some of these power outages will be all the way across the island. Now, areas around Kingston showed similar videos. Some of that flooding coming from the heavy rainfall above, leading to cars being dispersed across the city in water that's rising up to about 1 meter or 3 feet, where the surge, instead of being 3 feet, ended up to the rooftops along the east side of the storm when it made landfall around Kings at 185 miles per hour. From Kings all the way through Treasure Beach had water inundation from surge that is extremely deadly. Now that has passed, but it's Montego Bay next in line between about 5 and 7 p.m. We'll be seeing the surge coming into that region all the way through the west side of this eye wall. As Greta mentioned, this is up to the top tier of our records, highest for Jamaica. But not only that, this has now triple tied the record for strongest ever hurricane landfall in the Atlantic basin. Now, as we go over the next few weeks, we oftentimes see the National Hurricane Center revise these reports. This very well could become a complete record breaker as we get more information. More than 800 shelters were opened across the island nation. However, this morning we did have reports, one of which coming from Alligator Pond, where the counselor Omar Robinson had been saying he was preaching to his people to get to higher ground, to go to the shelters while he was observing some of them moving their boats out of the way. We will continue to monitor the storm, bringing you the most up-to-date information. But as far as the United States is concerned, we do have some impacts to consider. As this storm makes a landfall and sweeps across Cuba near Guantanamo Bay, we are also going to be having the outer bands pushing into another storm system that's exiting the United States. That's going to mean that Florida, all along the eastern coast of the Sunshine State, and particularly that south end near Homestead, near Miami, we will be having the chance for some tornadoes and extreme flooding. Those days for it's going to be the highest impact will be Thursday and Friday. And afterward, rip currents along the East Coast will continue to be a threat, Greta.
Amy Metz, thank you. President CEO of Samaritan's Purse and President CEO of the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association, Reverend Franklin Graham, joins me. Nice to see you, Reverend, and you're no stranger to hurricanes and recovery. Your thoughts as you see, what's happening to Jamaica, and we haven't seen the worst of it because it's still going on, but your thoughts?
Greta, we're planning for the worst. This is just devastating what's happening to that island. To think that those kinds of winds, 185-mile winds, and the homes that people live in Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica many times. They're just not built for this. So it's going to be catastrophic. We're loading our 757 cargo plane tonight. We're going to put shelter material on it. We'll have food on it. We'll have all kinds of just the solar lights, things, cooking, what we call cooking kits, so that people can cook with wood and so forth, wherever they can make a fire. All this stuff we're taking down there, but we're taking a helicopter that will go down tomorrow. We'll have King Air that will go down with an assessment crew, try to get that in there tomorrow night. But we don't know what airports are. There's two airports. There's Montego Bay and Kingston, and we just don't know the status of those airports or what they'll be like. But we're ready to take the hospital down there later this in the week if that's need be. We talked to the Jamaican embassy yesterday. They know the capacity. They've welcomed us. They said, everything that we can do to help you, we'll be glad to help you. Please come. We'll need your help. So we're going to go, Greta. It's just right now with the storm still in play, it's hard to know exactly what we can do. We'll just have to wait and see. But no question, it's going to be catastrophic.
As you know, of course, as I've been to Saipan with Samaritan's Purse when they got hit with a typhoon. I've been to Haiti when it got hit by an earthquake with Samaritan's Purse. But it is all dependent upon the condition of how much you can do. Is those airports, as you noted, and if the airport's damaged, is that you can't even get a plane to stay there. It's one thing we get it to land, but you can't even stay there long enough to unload it before another plane has to come in to unload. So even getting anything in to help these people is such a challenge, even, just in addition to the fact that they're in such great need. So it's just extraordinary.
Greta, it is. But we've got over 250 churches that we work with in Jamaica. These would be churches that participate with Operation Christmas Child. Of course, you and your husband, John Cole, you've been a part of this many times, handing out shoebox gifts. But these churches, we talked to them yesterday, communicated with them. I'm so proud that they started stockpiling water, putting plywood over the windows of their churches, making their churches a small sanctuary, having food ready to go. So I know when the winds die down tomorrow, those churches are going to do everything they can to help the people around them, and then we'll be in there to help them. So we just have to wait and see, Greta, see exactly what we can do. I know that the government of Jamaica will do everything they can to get the two airports open, and when they get open, we'll be there.
All right. Well, this was a surprise, as these storms are, a big surprise. But in the midst of all this, is Samaritan's Purse just sent relief to Gaza? I mean, you just sent a plane off to Gaza. What did you send to Gaza?
Oh, well, in Gaza, we had solar lights. We had food. There's this enriched peanut butter that is good for people that have been, that are gone through starvation. It's meant for them. And so we have that food. We have about 500,000 packets ready to deliver. And Greta, again, Gaza is a very dangerous place. We're limited in what we can do. We just have to wait till the security is a little better. But we have our equipment, we have the food, everything's stockpiled, and we can only give out small portions of it. But we hope that sometime in the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to get in there in a much stronger way. But yes, the plane just got back, and that one may be going with the 757. We may be sending that down to Jamaica as well.
All right, this was this one that went to Israel and back in about 2 days. I mean, they land, they unload, and they leave. That is a 767 that's bigger than the 757?
It's a 767, and it carries more. Just that one airplane carries more than our 757 and our DC-8 combined. This is really a big airplane, Greta, and it can haul a load.
It's just amazing, and boy, you know, the world is lucky for Samaritan's Purse. It's volunteers, the people that contribute, and that's 767, the 757, DC-8, and the rest of them. Reverend Franklin Graham, thank you, and we'll be watching to see what happens in Jamaica. It looks grim.
And Greta, ask people to pray for the people in Jamaica. They need our prayers. This is very dangerous.
Indeed, they do. Thank you, Reverend. And coming up, what do golf and pickup trucks have in common? That answer when the record continues.
Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country.
Before Charlie Kirk died, he issued a stark warning of terrifying dangers ahead in a new book, Pagan Threat, authored by Pastor Lucas Miles. Charlie said Pagan Threat could save America and that you must read it. Get Pagan Threat free with Newsmax's special offer. Plus, get Dick Morse's new book, The Real Charlie Kirk. 2 great books with our free offer today.
Hello, everyone. It's President Donald J. Trump, and it's Trump time. Check out this red beauty. It's one of my new watches. Wear it proudly on your wrist, and everyone will know exactly what it's for, who it represents. It's really going to be something special. It's for your favorite president. Get your watch today at gettrumpwatches.com. These make a great gift. It's Trump time.
This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. It's because of you that we're making it through. My employees and I want to thank you for your continued support by extending our wholesale prices on classic MyPillows. Get standard classic MyPillows only $14.98. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.98. But it gets even better. Upgrade to a queen size MyPillow for just $18.98. King size only $1 more. Get my body pillows $29.98 and multi-use MyPillows for only $9.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including my standard size MyPillow, originally $49.98, now only $14.98. Queens $18.98. Kings only $1 more. Not only that, order $75 or more, ship absolutely free. From all of us here at MyPillow, thanks America!
The report is out, and today the Republican-led House Oversight Committee released its findings on former President Joe Biden's use of the Autopen. According to the committee, the report, quote, exposes how President Joe Biden's top advisors, political operatives, and personal physician concealed the president's mental and physical decline from the American people. The findings reveal that as President Biden's conditions deteriorated, his aides exercised presidential authority and facilitated executive actions without his direct authorization, end quote. The House Oversight Committee is now asking the Justice Department to get involved. In a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer writes, quote, the committee requests that you investigate all executive actions taken during the Biden administration to ascertain whether they were duly authorized by the President of the United States, end quote. The letter also asked the Justice Department to further investigate 3 top Biden aides who pled the Fifth during the committee's investigation. Those aides are former White House physician Dr. Kevin O'Connor and Biden aides Anthony Bernal and Annie Tomasini. Former Senator from Pennsylvania, Rick Santorum, joins you. Nice to see you.
Good to be with you, Greta.
How in the world is the Justice Department going to investigate this?
You were reading the story, and I was thinking, okay, what can they do? They can certainly. It's going to end up in the courts and end up in the Supreme Court, I assume. Eventually, they can prosecute people for what? For lying. I guess they can prosecute that. But can they overturn executive actions? Can they invalidate pardons? I mean, those are things that they may try to do. My guess is that's what they'll try to do. They'll try to make some sort of case that these are these are not valid executive actions. That will end up in court, and we'll probably a few years from now know the answer.
Well, I did a little research. Did you know when Autopens first started, but under a different name, polygraph, not to be confused with a lie detector, began back, I think, 1804, I think, with Thomas Jefferson. He invented one. And then it wasn't until President Truman got the Autopen, as we know today, followed by then Eisenhower started to use a lot. Then they all started to use it.
Yeah. But they were, I used them too when I was in the House and Senate. I used them all the time because I would send out hundreds of letters a day to my constituents. Is not an action of the government. And in this case, here's an action of the government, and you have to be able to show that the president actually believe that, and one way to do that is an actual signature.
Well, there are two things involved. One is that he authorized the signature. That's the first thing. The second thing is that he had the capability to make the decision to authorize it. I mean, if you go up to, and I'm obviously going to use a gross exaggeration, but if you went up to an infant and said, should I do this, and the infant says yes, that would be, not something that
cognitive state to authorize.
Yeah. So I mean, so there's actually two parts to this.
Yeah, and one is pretty easy, is a paper trail to see if there was any kind of action or note or recorded conversation where the president actually said to do this. The second is harder, which is at what point was Joe Biden not cognitively capable to actually make these kinds of decisions? I don't think you'll ever get the answer to that one.
Well, I think that, listening to him now talk, I don't think you can make the decision that he didn't have the mental capability. I mean, he may have been slow ahead.
Well, and you can,
but the paper trail is very important as to whether he authorized it.
Well, he will say, because he did. I mean, I think what they will argue is all these pardons came out, and Joe Biden said, yes, I authorized all of them. I mean, he did. I mean, repeatedly, he said, yes, I approve this.
But he didn't know did they tell him everything that was in the stack?
But he said, I did all of these. And so it's not going to be an easy case for them to prove, because Biden's going to say, yes, I knew about them all, and yes, I authorized them all.
Right. Turning now to the Democratic Party and AOC, who is certainly, she was with Senator Bernie Sanders on Sunday in New York. She's certainly making, everyone's paying a lot of attention to her. What do you think her future of the Democratic Party is?
If you look at the way the Democratic Party is going, I mean, look at Zoran Mamdani in New York City. And it's not just New York City. It's really across the country. And when I say across the country, I don't mean necessarily in Poughkeepsie, New York, but it is in almost every major Democratic enclave, which is, of course, all the major cities of this country, and maybe even Poughkeepsie, in larger towns in America. That's where the Democratic base is, and they are increasingly going farther and farther to the left. I mean, just
but
look at
won't
the
it go
numbers.
sort of kerplunk? Let's say that with Mamdani, let's say he gets elected next week, and he starts giving away everything, and there's just no money, and the city goes bankrupt. Isn't that going to be a message to the rest of the country that this process of giving away everything free, if he does as he says he's going to, just doesn't work?
Yeah, I think that he'll benefit from the fact that he won't be allowed to do a lot of the things he's saying he's doing. The New York's law won't allow him to do some of the things he says he's going to do. And Kathy Hochul will be very important in that regard, because she has some power over him and what he's capable of doing. But even if he pushes the envelope on those things, look, it may not go well, but things are, Bill de Blasio was there for a long time. I mean, he did some pretty radical things.
But would that hurt AOC's political future? Because she's not going to be the mayor.
I don't think anybody.
Have you heard her speak? She's actually quite a dazzling speaker. She's a great, she speaks.
She's good on camera. She's good on social media. I mean, she's a very talented communicator. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And she comes across well. The point is the Democratic Party ready for someone who is that far left? And the answer is yes, they are. And can she win a primary? Yes, she can. Can she win a general election? I would make the argument that she might be able to, depending on who the Republicans put up. I mean, the country is not a center-right country anymore. It's very much center bordering on I'm not sure. Even though Trump has pulled a lot of people over, Republicans have to follow up on Trump. They have to follow up and solidify folks who vote for Donald Trump, but not necessarily vote for Republicans in the future. They've got their work cut out for them.
Senator Rick Santorum, thank you, sir. Nice to see you.
My pleasure.
And a warm welcome for President Trump. Earlier today, the president pulled up to Japan's Akasaka Palace for his meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi. And guess who the president was greeted with? An American Ford F-150 pickup truck. This comes after reports that the Japanese government is considering buying a fleet of the pickup trucks.
He's reportedly planning to bring plans to buy Ford F-150 pickup trucks.
Oh, good. Well, that's good. They're great trucks. Are you saying I have that plan or she has that plan?
She has that plan.
That's great. She has good taste. That's a hot.
And there's more. The Japanese Prime Minister also gave Trump a golf bag signed by Hideki Matsuyama. He is a Japanese professional golfer. The Prime Minister also gave Trump a golf putter. It belonged to the late Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Like I said, quite the welcome. I should note during the president's meeting with Japan's prime minister, the two signed a framework agreement focused on securing the supply of rare earth elements and critical minerals. The two leaders also agreed to collaborate on new generation nuclear power reactors. So what is next for President Trump? Tomorrow, he will be in South Korea, and that is where he will meet leaders of the APEC summit. And on Thursday, President Trump is expected to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Meanwhile, President Trump is dancing across Asia. Yesterday, we showed you President Trump in Malaysia. Here's that video again, just for good measure. Well, it's not over. Today, President Trump is dancing again, this time in Japan. Here's the president during the visit with the United States Navy in Japan. Oh, we can hardly wait for tomorrow. Will the president be breaking out his dance moves during his next stop tomorrow in South Korea? Stay tuned. And coming up, for the 13th time, the Senate has voted and failed. That means the government stays closed, and now something is about to happen to families across America. That's next when the record continues.
I'm Michael Savage, and I was conservative before conservative was cool. Do you realize how crazy the liberals in this country have become? I do. You want to get me started today? I'll get started. Watch Michael Savage and the Savage Nation every Sunday night.
Tommy Copper's shoulder support bra will be your new favorite.
I love how I feel when I wear it.
Available in 2 styles you'll want to wear every day for all-day comfort.
I'll take all the help I can get.
The bra you've been waiting for.
It's my secret weapon for more confident posture.
Tommy Copper will have you feeling confident and comfortable all day.
Why would I wear any other bra?
Upgrade your bra. Go to TommyCopper.com and buy one, get one free today.
There's nothing worse than losing your dog before their time. So why do so many dog foods contain awful things a human would never eat? To save his pets, world-famous veterinarian Dr. Marty knew he had to change what was in their bowl.
That's why I created Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, my breakthrough formula that's changed everything about dog food.
Nature's Blend contains nothing but all-natural ingredients, designed to help dogs with everything from digestive issues to itching and paw licking, even moving around better. And that's because Nature's Blend is freeze-dried. So instead of destroying the nutrients with high heat, we gently preserve them, and you'll see the difference in your dog.
Take it from a veterinarian with over 50 years of experience saving dogs' lives. I have never seen a food make this much impact on a dog's health.
Such a huge difference in her health. More energy, more playful, no more pooping issues.
He's healthier, he looks better.
Dr. Marty has thousands of 5-star reviews. And for a limited time, get up to 54% off Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, plus a free gift with our special TV offer. Call or go to drmartypets.com/TV. That's drmartypets.com/TV.
This is a story about the one. The one who looks to Grainger to make sparks fly. Getting it done right is a craft. It takes experience the right material, and the right partner like Grainger, with a wide range of professional-grade products. For the one, working hard means others can play even harder. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Let's be honest, there are zillions of things you'd rather do than look for insurance. Like assembling whatever that's supposed to be. Or teaching your kid to...
Slow down, honey.
Drive. Fortunately, the Zebra searches over 100 insurance companies for you to find savings no one else can. You'd rather do this than look for insurance? We can save you up to $900 a year when you bundle auto and home. I think I'll wait inside. The Zebra. We do the searching, you do the saving.
Is Pilates for you? Well, this is Club Pilates, and we think it's for everybody because that's the point of Pilates, to feel strong and balanced and good. Exactly. Everybody Club Pilates.
A peace plan for Gaza. For the plan to advance, Hamas must disarm. Instead,
tonight, terrifying images emerging from Gaza. Videos show Hamas-linked gunmen carrying out a public execution as they return to the streets.
Hamas on a rampage, executing Palestinians, bloody crackdown, spreading terror. For freedom, not terror, Hamas must go.
Today, on day 28 of the government shutdown, the Senate voted for the 13th time and failed to reopen the government. That is not all that happened today. Air traffic controllers missed their biweekly paycheck. As you can imagine, more air traffic controllers are calling out of work due to not being paid. That, of course, causes or contributes to flight delays as well as flight cancellations that are sweeping all across the United States. Right now, according to FlightAware, there are 447 flights delayed and 8 flights that have been canceled across the U.S. Today, National Air Traffic Controllers Association President Nick Daniels said this.
Air traffic controllers have to have 100% of focus, 100% of the time. This job is stressful enough. We go to work day in and day out and make thousands of decisions. We do it 5 days a week. Most of us actually do it 6. 5's hard enough. And we do it 6 and 10 hours a day. And now you add in the fact that we had a partial paycheck already, and we missed a full paycheck today. America's air traffic controllers are now having to focus on how do they put gas in the car? How do they take care of their children? How do they pay for childcare? And as the Secretary said, that makes the system less safe. And then the only way to make it safe is to reduce the number of aircraft in it. The message is simple. In the shutdown today, there is no excuse that these hardworking men and women are showing up to do this job and to not ever know when they're going to get paid again.
And now this. Yesterday, the Community Food Bank of New Jersey held a food distribution event for federal workers at Newark Liberty International Airport. The group passed out fresh produce and pantry items to the federal workers. And on November 1st, which is this Saturday, people who have very little means and are enrolled in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP will stop receiving those benefits unless, of course, the government reopens. There are roughly 42 million Americans who rely on this food program. Not getting these benefits is catastrophic for these families and, frankly, disgraceful that our political leaders let this happen, that families will not be able to put food on their tables. And today, 25 states announced they are suing the U.S. Department of Agriculture for unlawfully suspending SNAP benefits during the ongoing government shutdown. The state leaders argue that the federal government's refusal to issue November SNAP benefits violates federal law and will leave countless families hungry. Missouri Congressman and member of the House Appropriations Committee, Congressman Mark Alford, joins me. Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you, Greta. Thank you for having me.
You're not in the Senate, so you're not the one who's creating this voting problem. The House passed their continuing resolution, a clean one, quite some time ago. But, you know, people who use SNAP benefits, they can't even afford to buy cable. They're not watching. You know, it's really sort of, we're the people that sort of need to take care of them. And, and Congress needs to take care of them. And no member of the Senate is going to go without food tonight.
Well, and that is a sad reality that so many people are being held hostage by Chuck Schumer and the Democrats in the Senate. My fear is this is going to reach a conflagration point very soon. I hope not, but Chuck Schumer has poured gasoline on America. And my fear is that someone's going to light the match. I'm seeing things on social media now where people are threatening to steal groceries from people who have bought them at grocery stores to raid grocery stores in America on November 3rd. I hope that has not come to fruition. But the simple matter of the fact is that Catherine Clark said it out loud, that this is the leverage that they want to get people on their side. I think, would be happy if something dramatic happens that would convince the American people that they're right and the Republicans are wrong. But I'm here to tell you, Greta, we are in the right on this. We did our work in the Appropriations Committee. We got all 12 bills passed, and it was not easy work. And Democrats had ample input on these bills, some 40 amendments on each bill. We got 3 passed on the House floor. Went over to the Senate. All we were asking for was 7 more weeks to get our job done. And the Senate, because of their fear, I think their pride and arrogance on the part of Chuck Schumer and others, have said, no dice, we're not going to go along with this. And here we are.
Yes, and of course, the people were struggling with high costs anyway before their benefit will get cut off on the first, so that's even, it's terrible. But let's assume that tonight they voted, the Senate somehow decided that, okay, we're going to vote the Democrats. We're going to get enough Democrats, peel off enough Democrats so the Republicans are able to pass a continuing resolution, a clean one. It is till November 21st, which is about 24 days from now. Can Congress get its work done between now and the 21st? So on the 21st, we don't have another shutdown or a fight over another continuing resolution.
That's been my question all along. For every day that we are in our districts, working hard in our districts, which Republicans are. I just drove up here from Kansas City. I didn't want to take a chance on flying, but needed to check on my staff. And I'm meeting with the chairman of the Appropriations Committee tomorrow, talking about this, among other things. We have the time. We can create what are called mini buses, not omnibuses, but group some of these remaining 9 appropriation bills together, and we can get this done if Chuck Schumer unlocks the key to the government and lets us do our work so that we can get back on track with regular order in America.
I have to tip my hat to the air traffic controllers. The fact that we have 8 flights canceled today is pretty remarkable. 457 delayed. I think we probably have 450, probably 400 delayed on a normal day. But we are asking so much of these air traffic controllers. Now they're not getting paychecks. And, they might have children who have tuition or they have rent or mortgage or, it's like the idea that, that we were with that kind of pressure, if we have a catastrophe, there really is blood on the hands of some people in this town.
That's my fear. And Sean Duffy, the Secretary of Transportation, said we're short 2,000 air traffic controllers right now.
That's before. We had trouble. We had trouble before we even had the September 3rd shutdown.
Now, who would want this job to go through the training, which is very arduous, and they make pretty good money, but the uncertainty that they're dealing with now, they are controlling air traffic, and yet they've got to worry about feeding their families. That is not right. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats should be doing something to make them feel confident in their jobs, and they're not doing it.
The thing is, I want them to be happy. I fly a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be suffering from stress.
Or distracted.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, so the viewers may not know this, but you were in broadcast for 30 years. I asked him when he sat down whether you missed this and whether, Congress, is Congress better or being on TV? You were a broadcaster for years.
Greta, I have never worked this hard in my life. I'm 62, just turned 62, but I've never had this much passion, focus, direction for anything. But I tell you what, it's so frustrating to come up here and be on the Appropriations Committee. We're getting things done, trying to get back to regular order, trying not to have omnibus bills anymore, and trying to do the right thing. And yet the Democrats are playing these political games. Well, I didn't come here for this.
I practiced law before this. I must admit, this is a lot easier in practicing law. I think, journalists have a pretty, we're on the sidelines, not doing the heavy lifting. But anyway, I probably shouldn't admit that. Congressman Mark Alford from Missouri. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Greta.
And today, the Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ all closed up in green territory. And on his trip today in Japan, President Donald Trump touted the U.S. markets as well as Japan's markets.
This woman is a winner. So, we've become very close friends all of a sudden because their stock market today and our stock market today hit an all-time high. That means we're doing something right. But the cherished alliance between the United States and Japan is one of the most remarkable relationships in the entire world.
Tomorrow, the Federal Reserve is expected to release its next interest rate decision. The Fed is expected to lower the interest rate by 1/4 percentage point. Coming up, problems in the Israel-Hamas peace deal have people worried. Video shows Hamas terrorists doing something sinister. You're going to see that video when we come back.
You hear the same voices.
Donald Trump knows that's a lie.
From the same people.
Donald Trump is less lucid.
Saying the same thing.
Insults, invective, and outright lies.
And you say, enough! I'm Chris Salcedo, and I'll tell you the real news. You don't believe me? Just tune in.
Kevin Sorbo here, and I have an important message to share. The government needs more money. Your money. If you owe the IRS back taxes, they can garnish your wages and levy your bank accounts. They can even seize your retirement or take your home. Don't let the IRS target you. Call the professionals at Tax Network USA. Their tax lawyers and enrolled agents are experts in powerful programs that may even help you eliminate your tax debt.
Call for a free consultation or visit tnusa.com.
This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. It's because of you that we're making it through. My employees and I want to thank you for your continued support by extending our wholesale prices on classic MyPillows. Get standard classic MyPillows only $14.98. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.98. But it gets even better. Upgrade to a queen size MyPillow for just $18.98. King size only $1 more. Get my body pillows $29.98 and multi-use MyPillows for only $9.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including my standard size MyPillow, originally $49.98, now only $14.98. Queens $18.98. Kings only $1 more. Not only that, order $75 or more, ship absolutely free. From all of us here at MyPillow, thanks, America!
Hey, did you find the manual?
Yes!
Summon Dale!
Who's Dale?
American Home Show now provides video chat with live repair experts for home fixes over the phone. Let's go fix that oven.
Okay, Dale.
Sign up today at ahs.com.
Fed up with stubborn earwax? Dr. Easy professional ear washers have been used over 40 million times by medical professionals. Now you can get the same results at home with Wax RX, the personal ear wash system from Dr. Easy. Just like our professional ear washers, Wax RX flushes away stubborn earwax without a trip to the doctor. Don't be fooled by store brands and cheap knockoffs. Get the original doctor-invented #1 ear wash system in America. Get Wax RX today.
I am Mr. H, owner of Immuno 150, possibly the most complete and best nutritional supplement in the world, bar none. Now, it has propelled me to 91 years of age, and my wife Shirley to 82. Both of us are still cutting a wide swath in life, doing everything we did many years ago. All because of Immuno 150, and it can do the very same thing for you. Try it for 90 days so you can experience the difference it can make in your life. Nothing on the market can compete with the way we blend 70 plant-derived colloidal minerals with 80 very carefully selected nutrients. You'll be surprised if you take the recommended dose of Immuno 150 for 3 months. Place your order now so that you can be with us many years from now. Thank you and God bless.
Is the Israeli terrorist Hamas ceasefire on the ropes? This gives reason to wonder. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ordered the Israeli army to carry out powerful strikes in Gaza. The order comes after IDF soldiers came under fire in areas held by the IDF in Gaza. But that's not all. Israel is accusing Hamas terrorists of handing over partial remains of a hostage already buried. IDF drone video shows Hamas taking partial remains from a building, dropping it in the pit before covering the remains in the pit in dirt, and then Hamas uses an excavator to dig up the remains they just put there. Israeli officials say the partial remains belong to Ofer Zarfati. His body was recovered by Israeli military back in December 2023, 2 months after the October 7, 2023 slaughter. Zarfati's family says, quote, This morning, we were shown video footage of our beloved son's remains being removed, buried, and handed over to the Red Cross, an abhorrent manipulation designed to sabotage the deal and abandon the effort to bring all the hostages home, end quote. Hamas is still holding bodies of 13 hostages. Middle East correspondent Zach Anders is in Tel Aviv, where it is 10:40 p.m. local time. Zach?
Good afternoon, Greta. We've learned from the IDF more about this incident that took place earlier today. The band of militants, they're calling them, approaching IDF forces in the south of the Gaza Strip in a position where the IDF still holds control, approaching, engaging. There was a ground engagement. We're told that it was very serious. We do not have a casualty count at this point in the night. This is what was really the precursor to this latest round of strikes. In the last 2 hours, we've noticed that there's been, we've been told there's been notable attacks from the air in multiple locations in the north of the Gaza Strip and in the south. This is not just excluded to just this area where that battle took place earlier this afternoon. This is also striking what the IDF considers high-value targets of Hamas throughout the Gaza Strip, and Palestinian reports of at least 9 killed as a result of these airstrikes. Again, that's coming from Hamas-run the health ministry in Gaza, so that's not something that we can confirm at this point, but those are those reports coming out. And we do see some of those explosions from some of these live feed cameras from earlier, just about an hour ago here. Now, that video that you showed of the body being taken out of a building, tossed into the earth, and then covered by those Hamas men, leading the Red Cross to then that location with heavy equipment, exhuming the body there, or we should say the remains of Ophir, and then handing it over to the Red Cross. That is also incensing Jerusalem tonight to has said that this is one of dozens of violations that Hamas has conducted throughout the duration of this ceasefire, and that it will not stand, also leading to these airstrikes again. And we're told that these are strikes that may continue as well. This might not just be a one-off as Jerusalem is reevaluating its position on the ceasefire. We did have a chance just about an hour ago to speak to the IDF international spokesperson. Here's his reaction.
Very blatant way. They are constantly violating the agreement on a daily basis. But what we've seen in the last 24 hours is just unacceptable. Hamas pretending to find a body of a hostage, throwing it out a window, burying it, and then pretending to find it and calling the Red Cross, and then conducting an attack against our troops beyond the yellow line, east of the yellow line, in an area that is controlled by Israel. Unacceptable. We will not allow it. We are committed to this agreement, but we will not allow Hamas to make a joke and a mockery of our hostages, and we will not allow Hamas to attack our troops on a daily basis. This is just something we will not accept.
So what we're seeing take place right now, of course, Jerusalem condemning these actions, responding with airstrikes. We've seen Vice President Vance make comments within the last 2 hours that there are going to be skirmishes throughout this ceasefire, but that it's largely holding and that the U.S. is working to keep this together. There's also an element here with Israeli reports stating that Jerusalem did inform the White House that these strikes would take place, but perhaps that conversation or that direction didn't give a whole lot of time before the strikes themselves were actually taking place. The ceasefire, where does that stand as we enter into, again, another very careful period? Well, I'm told by our sources in Jerusalem that as long as Hamas continues to approach the troops in Gaza, the IDF soldiers, fire on them and engage in these kind of battles, that there's no reason for the IDF to hold back, that they're going to continue to conduct their operations and will use their air superiority here to strike these Hamas targets, whether they be in the area where the battle took place in Rafah in the south today, or in the north of the Gaza Strip and in Gaza City, where that offensive was really rolling on before this ceasefire came into effect and the troops pulled out, that really there is no distinguishing between that target bank of wherever Hamas has some valuable target. The IDF says they're going to strike them and try and inflict some, as I was told today, try and knock some sense into Hamas to try and get them to adhere to this agreement. But as we see, as they continue to reassert themselves and control the Gaza Strip, this is a very difficult period with Hamas not disarming. Greta?
Zach Anders in Tel Aviv, thank you. Former IDF spokesperson and senior fellow for the Defense of Democracies, Jonathan Conricus, joins me. Good evening, sir. How long can Prime Minister Netanyahu be patient, making a mockery of the hostage by this sinister trick of throwing someone in a pit and throwing dirt on it, trying to pass it off as it, and firing on the IDF? And at what point, I mean, how long does Netanyahu remain patient? Because he has the live hostages back. I know he wants the remains of those who are not alive, but tell me.
Yes, hello, Greta. Thanks to be good to be on again. I think that the Prime Minister would probably have liked to respond and to do different things a long time ago. I'll remind everybody watching that Hamas was supposed to return all of the bodies of the murdered Israeli hostages within 72 hours, and that was almost 2 weeks ago. So when we look at the situation, Hamas is signaling very clearly that they understand that the US and most of the world wants this peace deal really to succeed. And Hamas understand that they can push the envelope. And what we see Hamas doing is pushing the envelope everywhere, not returning remains of hostages, refusing to disarm, and of course conducting blatant and premeditated attacks against Israeli troops. And I think they understand that Israel is a bit bound here by the US administration, and that Israel cannot respond currently as it would like to respond to these violations. So I think there's a bit of a reality distortion field around Gaza currently, because reality is that Hamas is really significantly violating the deal, but the distortion field says to Israel, you have to stay in the deal and not disrupt it.
Well, I wouldn't hold your breath waiting for Hamas to disarm as it agreed to, but we only have about a minute left. Can you tell me, do you have any idea how many people make up Hamas, and who is the current leader in Gaza? Is there one?
Yes, his name is Izzadin Haddad. He's the military commander. He rose to prominence after Yahya Sinwar, Mohammed Sinwar, and Mohammed Def were eliminated. And he calls the shots currently. Yes, there's a lot of senior Hamas terrorists that have been killed by Israel, but he is in command. And there are still a lot of Hamas terrorists outside of Gaza, in Qatar, in Turkey, and other places, and they still have functioning command and control. I think we're talking about around 20,000 Hamas operatives armed with weapons. I don't know their level of proficiency and how good they've been trained, because most of them are young recruits that have been, put on uniform and become part of Hamas just very lately. But at the end of the day, they don't look as if they're disarming. They want to stay in power. They're settling scores with other Palestinians. And if they need to be disarmed, but the big question is, who will actually disarm them?
Jonathan Conricus, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And more drug boats allegedly struck in the eastern Pacific Ocean. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth announcing 3 strikes, killing 14 people with 1 survivor. This was off the Colombia coast. Hegseth says all the strikes were in international waters. These U.S. strikes began in early September, and according to the Associated Press, 57 people have been killed. Coming up, looks like things got tense between former President Obama and former Speaker Nancy Pelosi, with Vice President Kamala Harris stuck in the middle. That when the record continues.
Hello, this is WWE Hall of Fame wrestler Mick Foley. Across this great country, there are thousands of veterans with no place to call home. They deserve better.
Welcome to my new home.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to eradicating veteran homelessness by providing housing and critical services.
Couldn't ask for anything more.
Please help by donating $11 a month at T2T.org. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Let us do good.
Do you have a yo-yo smile? Sometimes yellow, sometimes white. It's a constant battle between everyday stains and whitening treatments. Until now, get Smile Actives, the daily teeth whitening breakthrough that gives you a more youthful smile and helps you keep it.
At 43 years old, I don't mess around with products that waste my time. Smile Actives is easy, and it works. No gloopy trays, no messy strips. Just add a little bit on top of your toothpaste when you brush your teeth. And ta-da! White teeth.
Just add Smile Actives to your favorite toothpaste and watch the magic happen. Our patented Polyclean microfoam lifts away deep stains for a dramatically younger and whiter smile.
You have a choice. You can have those yellow teeth and just be old Nana or Pop-Pop, or you can be smiling and dazzling and full of confidence. I love my white teeth.
Scan, click, or call for your whitest smile yet. And if you order right now, we'll double your whitening free. Get an extra Smile Actives as our free gift to you, but only while supplies last.
I drink coffee every day. I started noticing that my teeth were not as bright as I'd like them to be, a little dingy, but Smile Active, it works. Got your boy gleaming.
100% of users saw whiter teeth. Smile Actives lifts away even the toughest stains from coffee, wine, and food, gently restoring your bright, youthful smile. Plus, it's safe for veneers, crowns, and dentures.
It's really a no-brainer if you want to whiten your teeth.
Clinically shown to brighten your teeth 5 shades whiter in just 7 days.
If you could use something so easy like Smile Actives to take yellow teeth to white teeth, why wouldn't you?
Act now. Get Smile Actives for just $24.95 and we'll double your order. Free. But hurry, this deal won't last. Smile Actives is guaranteed to work. Whiten your teeth or get your money back. No questions asked. Don't wait. Get Smile Actives for just $24.95 and we'll send you a second bottle absolutely free. That's free shipping. A free extra bottle. That's an incredible 58% savings. Scan the code, go to smileactives.com or call to get your beautiful whiter smile now.
A peace plan for Gaza. For the plan to advance, Hamas must disarm. Instead,
tonight, terrifying images emerging from Gaza. Videos show Hamas-linked gunmen carrying out a public execution as they return to the streets.
Hamas on a rampage, executing Palestinians, bloody crackdown, spreading terror. For freedom, not terror, Hamas must go.
Another book with another glimpse at what happened in the 2024 election. According to a new book by ABC News' Jonathan Karl, former President Barack Obama was, quote, genuinely irritated with Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi. Why? Because of her quick endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris as president. Pelosi endorsed Harris on July 22nd. That was just one day after then President Joe Biden dropped out of the race. According to Karl, Obama and Pelosi had agreed to wait before endorsing a Democratic presidential candidate. Here is Karl reading an excerpt from his book.
A source close to Obama insists that the former president wasn't angry at Pelosi for abandoning their agreement. A source close to Pelosi, however, interpreted the call differently, believing that Obama sounded genuinely irritated that the former speaker had endorsed Harris. The Obamas were not happy, a Pelosi confidant told me. This person summed up Obama's message to Pelosi as essentially, what the did you just do?
Karl then says he was told by a senior Biden advisor that Obama did not want to endorse Harris because he did not think she could win. Obama did end up endorsing Harris 4 days after Pelosi's endorsement. And 6 hours and 39 minutes. That's how long Game 3 of the World Series went last night. The game between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays took 18 innings. The Dodgers end up winning 6-5 after a walk-off home run. The game ended just before midnight Los Angeles time, but for those watching in Toronto, it was almost 3 in the morning. Besides being long, the game also had some special viewers all the way from Japan. President Trump and the Prime Minister of Japan watched the game together, or at least part of it. Side note, 6 hours and 39 minutes is just the second longest World Series game. The longest, 7 hours and 20 minutes. That was Game 3 in 2018 between the Boston Red Sox and the LA Dodgers. Tonight, the Blue Jays and Dodgers playing Game 4. Hopefully, they got a little rest. Well, someone has a new perfect owner. Wait and see when the record continues.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.
Dad is a legend. Who can we thank for that? Let Ancestry help you piece together your story with a family history membership and detailed DNA results. Start today at Ancestry.
Look out, 'cause here I come.
Ready to lose weight? Think Wegovy.
With Wegovy, I've lost 35 pounds.
I lost 46.
For the first time, I'm keeping the weight off.
I got this. I'm protecting my heart.
Wegovy is proven to lower the risk of major cardiovascular events.
Don't take if you or your family had MTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or any of these allergic reactions. Serious side effects may include pancreas inflammation and gallbladder or severe stomach problems. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with diabetes, especially if you take medicines for it. Call your prescriber if you experience vision changes, heart racing at rest, or any mental changes. Depression or thoughts of suicide may occur. Side effects of nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
Why wait?
Ask your prescriber about Wegovy today.
Consumer Cellular is lowering the price for those 50 and up. Get 2 unlimited lines for $30 each. That's just $60 a month. So switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage satisfaction. Visit consumercellular.com today.
This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. It's because of you that we're making it through. My employees and I want to thank you for your continued support by extending our wholesale prices on classic MyPillows. Get standard classic MyPillows only $14.98. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.98. But it gets even better. Upgrade to a queen size MyPillow for just $18.98. King size only $1 more. Get my body pillows $29.98 and multi-use MyPillows for only $9.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including my standard size MyPillow, originally $49.98, now only $14.98. Queens $18.98. Kings only $1 more. Not only that, order $75 or more, ship absolutely free. From all of us here at MyPillow, thanks America!
There's nothing worse than losing your dog before their time.
That's why I created Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, designed to help dogs with everything from digestive issues to itching, even moving better.
Nature's Blend works because it's freeze-dried. So instead of destroying the nutrients with high heat, they all get right into your dog's body.
Take it from a veterinarian with over 50 years of experience saving dogs' lives. I have never seen a food make this much impact on a dog's health.
For a limited time, get up to 54% off Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, plus a free gift with our special TV offer. Call or go to drmartypets.com/TV.
Sponsored by Dr. Marty Nature's Blend, the health of fresh food with the convenience of kibble. Visit drmartypets.com/TV.
New York police have to deal with calls of all kinds, and earlier this month, it was a kitten. Officers at the Midtown North Precinct responded to a call about a tiny kitten stuck under a food truck. The officer arrived at the scene, he parted a big crowd that had gathered, and then he reached inside the food truck. That's when the kitten licked his hand. The officer safely pulled the kitten out. The officer says they had an immediate bond. No one claimed the tiny stray, so the officer claimed the kitty himself. And guess what? His four-legged friend had his first vet visit and got a new name, Cheech. The Chris Salcedo Show is up next. Stay with Newsmax. See you tomorrow.